Okay, hello everybody. My name is Bernie Martin, and welcome to Getting Your Business Out of the Doghouse, part one of a four-part series that I will be doing. And I'm really excited to have you here. And there is so much really cool information we're going to go through that I personally have been using over the last about year now in my businesses, online, offline, dog-related businesses, and even stuff that has nothing to do with dogs. This stuff can be applied to any business. But for this workshop, we're going to be focusing a lot on kind of the dog end of it, just because a lot of you on here are either in dog training, doggy daycares, grooming. There's all kinds. There's a couple photographers on here, so there's a bunch of different people on here. But we're going to focus on the dog stuff for this series. So, if you don't know who I am, my name is Bernie Martin. I've been dog training for about 6 years, but over the last probably about a year now, half year, I've been focusing more on the online stuff just because I like to travel. Tiffany and I like to travel more, and when you have a business that's face to face, you're kind of limited to how much you can travel and how much you can do. So a lot of the stuff that we're going to go through today is going to help you with your brick and mortar business, but it's also going to teach you how to take your business online and to just open your eyes to the possibilities of, doesn't matter what business you're in, there's opportunities for you to take your business online, and you'll be able to see that as we go through. And moving on. And who are we? That's Tiffany and myself. We are at Niagara Falls there, and Tiffany's a trainer as well. She's done dog walking. She's traveled all over the world and worked at ski resorts and done all kinds of stuff. And we got together, and we're getting married actually next year. And about a year ago, we decided that it's time for us to travel more with our dogs. We've been spending too much time with other people's dogs. It's time to take some time for ourselves and with our dogs. So that's kind of why we got into promoting online and learning some of this stuff. So this Facebook stuff that you are going to learn is gold, and also some of this business stuff. And what will we be talking about? We'll be talking about understanding your why, why you got into the business you're in. Why are you doing it? Like the core message that, and right now it might be a little bit, you might not know what's going on with that, but you'll understand it a little bit later. And we have social media marketing. We'll get into that. What is social media marketing? We are going to talk a lot about just strictly Facebook. I don't use much other stuff like Google Plus or Twitter and all of that. But Tiffany uses Instagram a little bit, but the main focus here is going to be Facebook because of how detailed you can get, and the marketing is incredible. And then the power of video and SEO. So we'll get into a little bit of YouTube stuff, not too much because we only have 4 sessions and I have tons of content I could give you. So we'll get a little bit into the YouTube marketing. Because you guys are on this webinar and this series, I'm going to give you access to a website that I'm actually creating. Facebook keeps changing things, so I have to keep changing some of my my stuff. But I'm creating a website with tons of tutorials of step-by-step actions of how to be posting your first ad and all of that. And that I'm really excited to get that out, hopefully in the next month. But I will be giving that to you guys all free for being part of this series. And then also whatever comes up, if you guys have questions, you can at any time put your hand up and ask a question. Moving on, let's get going. So I value your time and value my time, so I want to get to the point, get going, and if you have any questions, just give me a shout along the way, and we will go from there. So struggles when talking about the dog business industry. Again, this can be applied to other businesses, but getting clients. is one of the number one things. I actually went around and did a survey with trainers and groomers and asked them all these questions of, so these struggles are from these surveys I've done. I didn't just make them up. And also struggles that I had in the past. Not having full classes / grooming days not full, no training during the day. So a lot of the times training is evenings and weekends because people work during the day. Daycares, it's a little bit different. Staying motivated. A lot of trainers, if you're doing it full time, then you have not much going on during the day. And if you're just at home all the time, it can be a struggle to just stay motivated and keep going and focusing on what you really should be doing. If you are not full time and you have another job, then you have to stay motivated in growing that business, because if you're not doing anything, if you're not doing anything to promote your business, then your business it won't grow. And then slow seasons. Every business has a slow and a busy season. So right now it is, if you're watching this live, so if you're watching the recording, it's going to be a little bit later, but right now school just started. So for the trainers, this should be, if your phone is not ringing off the hook right now, then you didn't do things 2 or 3 weeks ago to get ready for this. You need to know when to market, and especially around this time when kids are going back to school and dogs are starting to say, what's going on? The routine changed, and they start getting into things. So understanding slow seasons and how to prepare for those. And then people believing you know what you're doing. This is a big one in with dogs, because dogs are it's their baby. So they need to trust you. They need to know, like, and trust. And we'll get into how you can do that with a couple simple little things. So I'm just want to make sure that I get back to that on this. All right. So moving on, 5 parts of your business. I'm going to go through all of this stuff. Some of you may have heard this before in another webinar I did, but it's good practice. And if you did not write this down, make sure you pull out a pen now and write these things down. We're going to go through all of these in detail. So I'm just going to quickly go through these, and we're going to go through the why. So why do you do what you do? Why do you get up in the morning? Why did you start the business that you're in? Why do you do what you do? This is really the core of, if there's no passion behind why you do what you do, then you won't have fun doing it, and you'll have a struggle getting clients and growing your business. And then the target, who will benefit from you? Who will benefit from your service? The bond, what will connect them with you? So you need to have a connection so that you get repeat customers and so that you get good referrals. And then the sale, obviously what you have to offer. And then the relationship, what will keep them coming back. And next slide. So the why. Understanding this will change everything. And it might sound a little hokey at first, but speaking from experience, actually, this Start With Why, this book, Simon Sinek, if you get the chance, pick it up. You can get it at Chapters or any bookstore, and go through it. It just really pinpoints why you're doing what you're doing, and it has a whole bunch of exercises, and it's a really good book. I recommend it. So why do you do what you do? Answer these questions. So just write them down. You can take screenshots of this stuff too if you don't want to write it down, and really spend the next week understanding this, because these little ideas here and your why, this is going to help us when we start posting ads and doing stuff in the future. So tonight's webinar is setting the foundation for what we're going to be doing later. Your why is not about money or profit. Your why is the thing that inspires us and inspires the people around us. People will buy into a vision. And you look at tons of different brands, and people are getting into storytelling in their advertising. You're going to see that a lot. And kind of the vision they have, people buy into that over something else. If your why is just for money, people will see that, and it'll be a little bit harder to get clients. the golden circle. So these are not circles, these are arrows because I couldn't find circles. So most businesses, they start with a what, they go to how, and then they go to why. And this is when you ask anybody, and I want you to ask yourself these questions. I want you to, any business can answer what they do, like right away. They can be like, well, I train dogs. And then they go to how, and they can explain that because they know how to train dogs. And then you get to why, and this often stumps people. And the reason it's in this order, the what, how, why, is because it goes from the simplest to answer to the hardest. So that's how most businesses are. Now, down here is what successful businesses do. They start with their why. So their vision, their passion, the reason they started the business. And this is in all of your marketing material, how you write, how you make your flyers and stuff like that. And then you might go to how, and then you can go to what you do. So a couple more people joining us here. Awesome. So here's just a quick little example. For the people that just joined us, we're just quickly going through a few things on building a foundation for your business so that we can really get into the targeted Facebook stuff a little bit later. Now, Apple, this is their what to why. So we make beautiful computers. They're beautifully designed, simple to use, and user-friendly. Want to buy one? Now, that is not what they use. Here's their why to what. So this is what successful businesses do. Everything we do, we believe in challenging the status quo. We believe in thinking differently. So this is their beliefs. This is their why. They believe in changing the status quo. The way we challenge the status quo is by making our products beautifully designed, simple to use, and user-friendly. And we happen to make great computers. Want to buy one? So they tell you what they do, and they're like, well, we happen to make great computers. Instead of being like, we have an awesome computer, and then kind of explaining it, because everybody starts with stuff like that. We make beautiful computers, or we're the best dog trainers, or we have the #1 doggy daycare. But what if you started with why you are the #1 dog daycare, or why you're the best trainer, or proof, or passion, or a vision of why you do what you do? So this is when we get into a little bit of hypnotic writing and storytelling, which we will get into a bit later. So carrying on. So the target. Who wants your service? This is a big one. It's so simple, but people forget about this. Who wants your service? Are they male? Are they female? What age are they? What are their interests? What issues do they need solved? What are they currently doing to solve these issues? So this is very important when we get to the Facebook ads, because if you're advertising to everybody, you're advertising to nobody, and you're spending a lot of money doing it, and you're wasting a lot of time. So if you go out handing out business cards to everybody you see, that's a waste of time, because not everyone's going to have dogs. Even if you hand out business cards to everyone that has dogs and you are promoting maybe dog training, not everybody wants dog training. So understand your target. For myself, I'll show you with Facebook how you can figure out who your target is. Like, is it mostly male? Is it mostly female? My target, my clients tend to be mostly female when it comes to the dog training end of it. And moving on. So write down target. Write that down on a piece of paper, and write down, really picture your client. If you have a whole bunch of clients, I want you to look at them and really think about what do they do? Like, what magazines do they read? What do they like doing? Do they like to be outdoors? Do they like to be, are they adventurous? Everything, all of that information will help when it comes to creating your ads and creating a story and creating some hypnotic writing and your ads. The traffic and the connection. How will people find you? This is important as well. Where are your potential clients? Where are they spending their time? Where are they looking? What will you do to get people to be drawn to you? Why should they choose you? Why would you choose you? So look at yourself. What would you look for in if you're looking for a dog daycare? What would you look for? Obviously, you have a bit more inside experience of maybe being groomer, trainer, whatever, um, photographer, but really try to step outside of your business and take a look at it and just see what other people see. A good exercise is to ask friends or ask random people, show them a brochure and say, what do you think about this business? What do you see first? And or if you have like a website, send it to somebody and say, what do you think of this? It's best if it's not a really close friend, because a lot of people will be like, oh, it's nice. But if you can give it to somebody, you can send it to me, send anything to me, and I'll look at it first glance, and I'll tell you what I see. And everybody's different, so definitely take things with a grain of salt, because one person, they might not be your target market, but maybe your target market really will see what you're trying to portray. The sale. So this is obvious. You sell your service or product. What are you doing to make them comfortable with it? And this is a big thing with selling, is people need to be comfortable. If you are trying to ram a service down someone's throat, they will automatically get their back up, and they'll wait for the next person that's trying to do the same thing, because people are being sold constantly. You're watching TV, there's ads everywhere. You're flipping through a magazine, there's ads everywhere. You're on Google, there's ads everywhere. There's ads, there's ads, there's ads. You're driving down the road, there's billboards, there's cars with stuff on. There's stuff everywhere. So people need to be comfortable, and we'll get into a little bit of that. This is where video plays a huge part. It's that whole know, like, and trust. If you can shoot some videos of yourself, I know it's stepping outside of your comfort zone probably at first, but if you can do it, it can after time, it's normal. Video yourself, watch it. Don't just do it in front of the mirror, because that's a little bit different. Video yourself and watch it, and see what you're actually doing. The relationship. This is what will keep you in business forever. How are you connecting with them? Why would they want to come back? If you can build a relationship, they will buy from you in the future. This is huge. I don't know what business you're in, but you may not be in that business in 5 years from now, 10 years from now, maybe 20 years from now. You're probably going to move on, or you're going to expand into other services. If you're a trainer and you decide to open a dog daycare, and then you want to start a dog walking business, and then you want to get into pet photography, or you want to add different services on. If you can build a relationship with somebody and get them to know, like, and trust you, they will buy into whatever you're selling. People, even if it's a little bit more, or priced a little bit higher than somebody else, people will come to you. People need to feel comfortable. And most people hate change. So if you can offer something to them that goes along with some other services, they'll just buy into it. So remember, relationship, relationship, relationship. So those are the 5 things. Let me just scroll back up here to find them. So the why, the target, the bond, the sale, the relationship, and they are in that order for a reason. You need to understand your why, what you do, in order to find your target, in order to create a bond, in order to create the sale, and then to create the relationship. So write those down and just scribble notes alongside those things. I want you to really focus on the why, and try to write a whole page, if not 2 pages, of scribbling why you do what you do. And a lot of times when I opened my dog daycare, I opened it because I wanted to, I needed something to do during the day. And then I wanted to help dogs to learn how to socialize, and because a lot of dogs didn't have a place to go to socialize. And after I started it, stuff started to change throughout the business, and I had to stop because the vision and the why wasn't jiving with what was going on with the business. So understanding your why, and a lot of times when people get into business, they start because they're like, well, I want to work for myself, and then what happens is when you start making money, your why starts to change because you start focusing on money. And when you start focusing on money, people can see that. They can see that in your advertising. They can see that in the way you're talking. So don't lose track of your vision. And moving on. We're going to jump over to Facebook in a little bit to go through some of that stuff, but I want to go through this year of the video. Video will change everything in your business. It's just, it people don't read anymore. People are so lazy, they won't even read. People actually read only 20% of what they see. So if you have a long written thing, then people will just like pick a couple points and move on. If you're really into writing and want to learn a little bit more of hypnotic writing, there's a book called Hypnotic Writing, and pick that up. And within like 10 pages, your mind will be blown by simple things you can do with writing. For instance, let me just pull up a Word document here. If you have, so a lot of people, they just like write, and they're just going on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And it's really hard to read. Now, if you can take it into chunks, and this is not the best example, but if you can take it into chunks like that and kind of make it shorter for people to read, and you go on, and then maybe you have just one line, and this being an important line, people will kind of read a bit, and then they'll jump to here and be like, oh, and then they'll read a bit more. And so changing stuff up like that, when we get into Facebook, I'll see if I can find some good examples of good writing and some bad writing. So back to the video, people love videos. Your videos, keep them under 2 minutes long. Within the first 9 seconds, you need to capture their attention. So if you open the video with like, hi, my name's Bernie Martin. Well, today I'm going to tell you a little bit about people are gone. They're like, I'm bored. People want to be entertained. People want to see some energy. They want to see some passion. They want some humor, something. When you first start shooting videos, you'll probably be like, really. Videos can go both ways. They can make you look really uncomfortable, and maybe it'll look like you don't know what you're talking about, and that will relate to your business. People will be like, well, this person isn't very confident about their doggy daycare, or they don't seem confident, so I'm not going to go with them. So there's a difference between confidence and just being like cocky and really loud and obnoxious. But just be comfortable. Talk to the camera like you're talking to your best friend. And so catching people within the first 9 seconds. Video structuring is something all of you are added into my Facebook group. If you're not, send me a message and I will add you there. And I will be posting some stuff about video structuring and stuff like that, some extra little videos as we go through here. So those will probably be, if you're watching the recording of this, those will be in the files section of the Getting Your Business Out of the Doghouse Facebook group, which is private. So message me to get added. So videos, practice shooting videos, definitely under 2 minutes, unless you are extremely, extremely entertaining. Keep clips short. If there's things in the background, you can shoot a video just sitting at your desk if you want. But if you're in the dog world, I suggest having maybe dogs in the background or have something moving. If nothing's moving, then you need something that breaks people's attention. So if you if a dog runs by or something like that, it will captivate them. If you're good at video editing, or you can use iMovie, it's really simple to create really cool looking videos. If you have maybe the scene changing every 4 seconds, if you watch TV, the screen changes to a different camera or a different angle almost every 4 seconds. Almost every time you blink, it will change. And what that does is it makes you almost refocus, and you refocus, and then you refocus. But if nothing's changing, people are just, it has to be very entertaining. So if there's stuff going on in the background, obviously not loud stuff and taking away from what you're saying, but that will be a little bit better for your videos. Also, if you're really uncomfortable with shooting video, I suggest shooting it while you're walking. So pull out your phone and start walking while you're walking your dog or something and talk, because you tend to loosen up a little bit when you do that. What can you shoot for a video? I suggest if you have your Facebook page, I will show you in a bit when we go to Facebook, but you can pin posts. So if someone goes to your page, you should have put a video there welcoming them to your Facebook page. Maybe on your website, have a welcome video being like, hey, thank you for checking out my site, and just say a little bit about you, a little bit about the business, your 30-second elevator speech. It can be up to a minute or 2 minutes max, but just welcoming people. People want to feel comfortable. They want a reason. Give them a reason to want to get to know you a little bit more and your personality. Don't keep them guessing what they're going to get when they come to your business. So year of the video, every minute, 100 hours of video is uploaded to YouTube. Over 6 billion hours are watched a month. That is crazy. A lot more people are, the younger generations are using YouTube as a search engine. So instead of going to Google, they're going straight to YouTube. So just grabbing some water. We'll get into, when we get into the YouTube stuff, it's going to blow your mind how easily you can get ranked on the first page of Google for certain keywords. It can be very hard with websites because you have so many people competing for it. And SEO, there's a million different things you can do with SEO to get your website on Google, and Google keeps changing it all the time, so you never know what's going on. So I like to use YouTube because not many people are doing it, and Google loves YouTube obviously because they own it. So they'll rank YouTube videos on the Google search engine. So sometimes when you search in Google, YouTube videos will pop up on the first page. So I will show you how to get there. 5 reasons for video. Grabs attention, communication. You can convey emotion and personality, which is huge. And then people learn differently. So some people, they want to hear things, they want to see something, they want to see a person saying it. So you can kind of tackle a couple of those things because some people want to read it, so you can have some text under the video as well. Instant expert factor. So people are conditioned to look up to people that are on screen. It's how it works. We go to the movies and we see people, and oh my goodness, they're a celebrity. If you can start getting your face, and this is why Tiffany and I do a lot of blog posts and a lot of videos, because when you put a blog post of, it doesn't even have to be selling anything. It can be giving away tips and value, but it leads back to your website or your blog, which leads to your website. It just gives people, gets them comfortable with coming to you because they've seen you all over the place. It gives you more value. It gives you a reason to charge more for your services because these people see you everywhere now, and they think you're a big deal. So I'll show you how to trick people into thinking you're a big deal. So SEO, 50 times easier to get a video to rank on the first page. So this is just what I talked a little bit about earlier. And who are you talking to? I think this page is kind of in the wrong spot. But yes, who is your target market? Now, actually, I'm going to go over to Facebook. Not now. Don't show me what I need to download. All right, so I'm going to go to Facebook. Notification from Andrew. So here is the home page, and I'm sure you're all on Facebook. So you go to your homepage and you get your news feed, and then you have ads over on the side. So just recently, these ads over here, these pictures got a lot bigger, which is actually really good for you and I as marketers, because it grabs people's attention a little bit more. And these are all ads. So you see sponsored, these people are paying to be here. Now, if you scroll down, typically in the one of the first three, usually not the first one, you will see something that looks like this, and you'll be like, the art of, I don't know who this is, I've never liked that page. Now it has sponsored underneath it. So this is an ad as well. Have you heard? Gary's coming to Toronto. You probably do not have this ad on your newsfeed. And the reason I have it is because I have searched for him before. He's actually written some really cool books. And actually, have you heard he's coming to Toronto? I might check that out, actually. So Facebook, they will gather whatever information about you. So everything you've put in when you set up your Facebook, you put in that you were male or female. You might have put your age, maybe not. You might have, let's see, actually, when I'm going to go into my personal page just to show you. So right up here, you see what TV shows have you watched, and you could go into that and answer all of that stuff. I'm just going to go back. You can get carried away with this stuff, and you can start answering that stuff, and questions will keep popping up. And what they're doing is they're gathering information about you. If I say that I like Breaking Bad, well, I might see in my news feed, I might see Breaking Bad stuff. So somebody may be selling Breaking Bad t-shirts or stuff like that. Now that I refresh, let's see if there's another. So it's the same one. Now, this here is an ad for page likes, and this is to grow your fans. So I'm actually going to, I'm going to click on this just to see where it goes. And it's taking forever. So now that I have clicked on this, so the art of entrepreneurship, and we have Metro Toronto Convention, October 7th. So now we have a page talking about who's all going to be there, and there's a video, and there's blah blah blah. VIP pass, $550. Now, what they have on here, I'm guessing, which you will have on your website as well, is called a Facebook Pixel. And don't worry if you don't understand this right now, because we'll get into this as well. And now that I've clicked on this, Facebook has just told these guys, the art of entrepreneurship, that Bernie Martin has clicked on your ad. Now I will most likely see this ad more often throughout the next week or two. And they might be on the side, but they will pop up more often because I've clicked on it, and Facebook is saying, okay, well, this guy might like your stuff, so they can post more ads to me. And it's that whole, you might, right now, maybe I'm like, oh, this is cool, I don't have time to check it out. And then a couple days from now or tomorrow, this might pop up on the side and it'll remind me. So if, let's say you have a doggy daycare ad, and people are maybe they're at the bus stop scrolling through their phone, and they see that and they're like, oh, that's kind of cool, and they might click on it, but they won't do anything. But then you can actually retarget to them and have it keep popping up. So you probably see the same ads popping up and you're wondering why. Well, you've probably shown an interest in that, or you fit that person's target market. So that is sponsored ads. Now, if we go to, I think that's all I wanted to say about that. This here, up here. So a lot of you probably just use it for searching for your friends. So Kelly Wilkinson, Found her. I click on it, I can go to her page. Now, what it is also good for is this is Facebook's search engine. So just like Google, you can search for anything. If you just hover over it, you have people I may know, my friends, photos I might like, and just a bunch of different things. But you can also do stuff like um, people that like cheese that live in Toronto. So people that like cheese that live in Toronto. Now, if I click on that, let's just see what happens. We have more than 1,000 people. It won't tell. There could be a million, but it'll either say more than 1,000 or less than 1,000, and then oh no, more than 1,000 or more than 100 or less than 100. So now we have a list of everybody that has said that they like cheese. So this might be a Facebook page that is titled cheese, or they might have said they went out for wine and cheese in a status or something. This is all information that has been gathered. So um, here's the Facebook group that associating most of these people with. And now you can also, if you want, you can get really detailed and say, actually, no, I just want females. And then it will break it down. It'll just be females. And then maybe you're doing a wine and cheese night, and you just want single people, so you can be like single females that like cheese in Toronto. Now we are down to more than 100. So you can really get into different, like really extremely targeted to these people. You can see more filters. And so this is just a great search engine for Facebook. And then there's just ridiculous amounts of things. You can even like religious views. They're constantly adding things. And so their work, what they do, are they admins of Facebook pages? This is a big one if you're targeting business owners for stuff. So I am just going to go back. So a little bit about that search engine. Play around with that because there's some really cool things for that. Now I'm going to go to a Facebook page. So I was just on my personal profile. Now for your business, you need a Facebook page. I don't suggest a group. So the difference between a group and a page is a page, people will like it and they will see some of your stuff. A group, they sometimes they have to be added, or you can have an open group so people can add themselves. With a group, the benefits of a group are if somebody posts something, then everyone will see it. So anybody, if you have an open group, then anybody could join and anybody could contact everybody in there. Now, you can set stuff so that there's approvals on different posts and stuff like that. So it's great for if you're going to try to create people coming to you and getting to know you. So let's say, so we're talking about dog businesses. So let's say you're uh, a groomer. Maybe you start a Muddy Dog Facebook page, Muddy Dog in Toronto Facebook page, and you just have tons of people. And the idea of it is people to post pictures of their muddy dog. And then maybe you do muddy dog walks through that or something like that. And now you've just created a group of people. They're like, oh, muddy dogs, cool. And then now you have a group of people that that have dogs that you know like to get muddy. So these people are probably adventurous people. Now you can start targeting these people, being like, oh, hey, we're going to do a muddy dog walk, and then actually we're going to do a free dog wash or something, or cheap dog washes or something like that. These are prime people for your target. So thinking a little bit of outside of the box, people don't know who you are. So if somebody saw the traveling dog They might not know, or if they saw a new leash on life, they might not have any clue who that is. But if you say you start a group that is um, Kitchener-Waterloo muddy dog walks, people know what that is. It's probably a walk and you go and get your dogs muddy or something, or a dog walking group. That's why a lot of people start these groups, just to get people connected. This is why people start maybe dog park groups, to get people connected. If you can be the owner of one of these groups, you can really control what goes on in the group, and you can kind of slyly promote stuff to them, and people will see you as a leader if you're kind of organizing everything in the group. So just a great idea for thinking a little bit outside of the box and starting a group or even a page for random stuff. I have a friend that does online marketing, and he does random stuff like he will start. He's a big 49ers fan, so he started a Facebook page. I forget what it's called. 49ers for Life, I think. Actually, let's just 49ers. Yeah, 49ers for Life. And he has over 18,000 likes here. So he just started this, and he started advertising for likes. And I'm not sure how much he spent, maybe a few $100s or something to get that many likes. But he was very targeted. He targeted people that liked the 49ers. And then what he did is he just started posting random 49ers stuff. My favorite Niner of all time is. And he gets people to, and people comment and people share. And then randomly, he will insert little things like Teesprings is a campaign for creating T-shirts that people can buy online. So he'll design this 49ers T-shirt, and he'll throw it in here and be like, get these limited time offer T-shirts. Actually, you can see over here, good girl gone Niners. So he has these T-shirts that he sells through this here. And then he does some online marketing. So he'll randomly put in, want to get paid to blog about the 49ers, and he'll kind of draw them away from that into other things that he has. So I just say this to kind of open your mind to the possibilities of other things that you could be doing and starting to grow. Now, with something like this, you have to be very careful that you're not being salesy and like right off the bat. You need to grow your audience, get people to know, like, and trust, and get comfortable with what you're giving them. So all of this stuff is like, who's your favorite 49er, and are you watching the Super Bowl on Sunday? And this is all back in February, so it'll probably start up again soon with football starting. But just an idea to get you thinking outside of the box on how to kind of build a group of people that know, like, and trust, and then will eventually buy anything from you. So back to Traveling Dog page that I am an admin for. When you have, I'm a big fan, especially for your personal profile. I even like it for Facebook groups to have your face somewhere, just so people can see who you are, who they're talking to, and be smiling. Don't be serious. Don't be like posing all tough, unless that's what you're trying to portray and kind of the clients you're trying to get. If you're smiling, people will naturally be drawn to you and be like, oh, this person's a nice person. So you can have a profile of you smiling. It doesn't. You can have your logo. A lot of people ask, can you have your logo there? You can, just kind of for brand awareness. But if you have your logo here, make sure your picture, your image is up here. Now scrolling down. Actually, I think this isn't posted to the top anymore. But Tiffany shot a video for welcoming people to the Traveling Dog Facebook page, and it is 33 seconds long. So short, to the point, and then a little bit of basically what she said there is here. Just we'd love to in the comments below, blah blah blah, and then so people can read it and they can also watch it. So that's a great way to just have something on your Facebook, have it right at the beginning, or even on your website for people to get to know who you are. So for now, I just want you to go to the top of your page and go to Insights. And this is going to give you all kinds of information about your audience. Now, if you go to, so some of these are, I don't really look into very much. It shows you your likes and stuff like that, but I like to go to posts. And this will give you information about times that people are online. So your fans, when your fans are online. So you can so starting around 6 a.m. people are starting to get online. So if and then also yeah. So just understanding when to post, because if you were to post something, um, depending when you post it, things can get buried very quickly. So if you post at midnight, people are going to not really see they and stuff will start getting put on here, and then right here is where stuff's just going to get flooded, and then throughout the day, your posts can really go really far down the news feed depending when you post. So just play around with it. Facebook has some interesting algorithms that they keep changing all of the time, and they don't always show your posts to everybody. And if I go back to, actually no, um, I will go down here. So you can see if you scroll down, it will show you every post. So you have your type. It's a photo is a photo. This was a link, a photo, a video. I'm not sure if there's any just status without anything, but it'll show you what it is, and then it will show you the reach. So I haven't paid for any advertising in a little while on this page. So all of these are all organic. So you'll see that this one reached 452 people. And then you go down here, and this one was 196. And you go down here, and this was 92. And there's just a bunch of random stuff. Now, you want to actually go through and look at your. Actually, this is really interesting. Looking at your times. So this one that had a lot was around 5 o'clock. This one was just after 5 o'clock. Down here, this big one was at 6 o'clock. So interesting to see when this was like 4 o'clock. So later in the afternoon looks like, and then this one almost 1,000 was at 3:38. So just understanding when to post, because so this was, let's see, so this was 9, 9:15 in the morning, and this was 10 in the morning. Let's see if there's any other early morning ones. 11:30, so a bit more. So understanding, playing around with it, and just seeing what works and what doesn't. You'll find a change in videos and pictures. What happens with Facebook is if people don't click on your stuff, so if you have 500 likes, you're probably going to see maybe because I think this page has over 2,000 likes, but you don't have any of these even close to that. Because what Facebook does, back in the day, they used to show everybody that likes your page, your posts, but now like 16%, or Facebook changes it all the time, so not everybody will see it. And I believe photos and links and videos are all separate. So if people stop clicking on your photos, they will stop showing your photos to them for a while. And this is why you see the same people posting on your pages, because those are the only people clicking on your posts. So Facebook's like, well, they really do like your stuff, so we'll keep showing it to them. So just changing around what you post, post value, 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 value. So back to the 49ers thing, it was posting what your audience actually wants to see. So if you have a doggy daycare, people might want to see the dogs playing. They might want to see tips for some grooming tips or just random tips of anything. So giving value, giving stuff that people will want to read, giving funny stuff, posting funny videos, just that you've found on, there's millions of funny dog videos. People click on that stuff. That's what you want. You want people to click on your stuff so that they see, so that when you actually want to maybe sell them something or promote something, then they will see it. So just posting on a regular basis and be consistent. Don't post like a million things one day and then don't post anything for like 3 weeks. So that is posts. And then people, this will tell you who your audience is. So for this page and where they're from. So on this page, we have people from all over the world because that's kind of our target, what we promote through that page. But yours, if you're not online, then you will be just targeting your town and your area or wherever you're going to do training. So yours will look a little bit different. But this will show you who your greater audience is. Are they women and what age they are? So this is what you will want to know when we get into ads. Let me see what else I want to get into here. I want to go back to, so if you're wondering how much our ad's going to cost you, I have just a screenshot here of an ad I posted a little while ago. And it was, I actually forget what it was for. I think this bottom one was maybe swimming with your dog class. But here, so results, 36 post engagements. So that's either likes or comments or shares. And then there's a cost per engagement, so 12 cents. And it reached 630 people. So this was a geo-targeted ad, so it was just in the towns around us. Frequency means how often did people see the ad. So if that's that whole kind of repetitious stuff that keeps popping up on their newsfeed. Now, if that gets too high, I always stop it before it gets to 3 because people will start getting annoyed with it, and then they can mark it as spam, and you don't want that. So keeping that, if it gets close to like 2.5, getting to 3, I'll just deactivate the ad for a while, and then I might start it a little maybe the next week. 36 clicks, click-through rate 5.5. So out of all, so 5.5% of the people that saw the ad in their newsfeed clicked on it. 5.5 is actually pretty good. Actually, really good. If you can, like 3%. The more targeted you can be with your audience and understanding them, the higher this number will be, because you'll be showing it to people that are more likely to be interested in it. The total spent on that day was $2.85, and the total spent. So I must have ran this for 2 days before I took this screenshot. So I think my budget was maybe, I don't know what my budget was, maybe $2.88 or something, under $3. And then here's another one, which was huge. This was actually really targeted, because what you can do, which I'm not showing you tonight, but what you can do is you can take your email list, which you should be gathering all of your emails. So that's part of your homework before next session, is to go through, I know you're trying to avoid it, but go through all of your emails and gather all of the email addresses of people that ever contacted you for dog stuff, if that's your industry or whatever business. Get all of their emails, put them into an Excel spreadsheet. So you're going to Excel, you're going to have all of their email addresses. Don't have their name beside it, just email addresses. And then you're going to go File, and you're going to go Save As, and you are going to save it as a comma separated values, so CSV. You're going to save it as that. So that's your homework, to do that, because what you can do with that then is you can actually upload that to Facebook, so that you can now And what Facebook will do, they will take all of those email addresses and they will find if they have a Facebook account associated to that email address. And if they do, then they will match those up. And now you have a list of all the email addresses. You now have their Facebook ID number. And this is completely legal. Facebook does this for marketers. Now, you can't see those Facebook IDs. It's just hidden in there. It's in a list. But now you can promote an ad directly to them. So that's how I got 14.6%, because these people already knew who I was. So when you start creating ads, as people click on them, you're building a list. And then this is how ads get cheaper and cheaper and cheaper as you go, because people start knowing who you are. And it's that whole know, like, and trust. When you start out, it can sometimes be a bit slow when you're trying to figure out your audience. But with time and building your list bigger, you will see this number go up, and you will see your total spend going down, and you won't need to spend as much to get a client. And let's see. And actually, I'm going to open up this and a new slide. Homework for you is to write out your why you're doing what you're doing, your target market, who are they, male, female, their age, what do they like, what are their interests. You can't write out too much stuff for that. And do your email list as a CSV file. So get all of that stuff together. And then also, this is very important for business and your mind. Read 30 minutes a day of maybe educational stuff, inspirational stuff. 30 minutes, whether it's in the morning, whether it's at night. At night, it's sometimes better to read stuff that will kind of wind you down. So just take 30 minutes and find a book and just read for 30 minutes. Too many people are afraid to pick up a book because they're like, I don't have time to do this. And then they're like, well, maybe I'll get sucked into it. But if you can just say 30 minutes, for some books, like Start with Why or 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss, there's so much content that if you read any more, you'll just be overwhelmed with information and you'll forget everything. So 30 minutes is a good time to get some information. If you start being like, whoa, this is really good, then just stop and let it digest. Another thing to do is listen to some audio for 30 minutes a day. And same thing, it can be educational, it can be inspirational, it can be motivational. Just listening to other successful people. You can go into iTunes and buy random books. I have The 50th Law, written by Robert Greene, of the story of 50 Cent, the rapper. It's actually a really good for motivational, and how you got to work if you want to build your business. You got to work for it. So these two last things are really good for just growing your confidence and starting to think outside of the box. A lot of times, people get stuck in a bubble of hanging out with the same friends, and what happens with us as business owners, a lot of friends might not be business owners, and they don't understand. So we don't talk about it much with them. So who are we left with? We're left with ourselves to discuss our business and what we should be doing. And a lot of times, motivation just kind of it lacks. So reading and listening to audio. Listening to audio is like you sitting down with some of these successful people and hearing what they do. It will help. Just what I love about it is too many people they don't shut it long enough to actually learn things. And the great thing with audio is you can't talk back to them. It's a one-way conversation, and you're learning and you're digesting. So I strongly suggest finding a book, finding some audiobooks are great when you're walking your dog, just to kind of it it steps you outside of your comfort zone and opens your mind to other possibilities for your business. If your business is not where you want it to be, and it's been there for a long time, then you need to change something. If you're getting the same results as you got last year, you probably didn't do what you wanted to do if your goal was to be somewhere else. It's good to set goals, but it's also good to set daily goals so that you can reach that goal. Too many people set a 1 year goal or 5 year goal, and then you're 4 years down the road and maybe you're scrambling, but then there's too much work to do that you just give up. So setting daily goals is key. So writing out your why, your target, get that email list together, start reading, doing some audios, reading. You can go to chapters. You can go to any. You can go to iTunes and probably search stuff. Go to YouTube and search motivational speeches. Search whatever you're struggling with that day. If you want some more motivation to do anything, to exercise more, Google or YouTube it. There will be a video of somebody giving you some advice on something. There's tons of information out there. And be unique. Just be different. Be different than other businesses. The dog world, it's an interesting world, especially if you're in training, if you're in daycare. Grooming's a little bit different because there are some standards, I believe. But when it comes to being a dog trainer, anybody can be a dog trainer. And this is what's so difficult because you can get somebody that just had a dog growing up and the dog was well behaved and they just love dogs and they want to be a dog trainer, but they have no experience and they don't really know much about it. And then you can get somebody that has spent years of studying dogs and training and working with people and learning, and they have all of this information, all of this experience and anecdotal. They are also a dog trainer. So when people are looking for training, a lot of times they look at the price, but and then they go to these price of that's lower. I was on Kijiji, so people like Craigslist, for the people I don't know, and it's crazy how some people are doing training private sessions for like next to nothing. And I charge at least $150 to go somewhere. Group classes, I charge $500. And there's people that charge way less than half that. But what people do, the problem with it is people will tend to go to the cheapest if your sites look the same. If you have teach your dog to sit, stay, and come every time you call it, and blah, 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 that's exactly what these other trainers are doing. So if your site looks the same as all of these other ones, then people will look at the price and say, well, you look the same as this one. Why would I go to you because you're twice as much, right? So remember this when we're talking about all of this stuff, your why, and getting people to know, like, and trust. So being a little bit different. Too many people look at their competition down the road and they say, whoa, that person's doing this and they're getting tons of clients. Well, maybe I should be doing that. And I see too many people in this industry copying what other people are doing. Now, it is good to copy successful people, but you need to put your own personality in with it. So you can do something. Tiffany and I have done some cool classes, and we bring an interesting personality. Both of us have our own personality, and it works really well with the target and the clients that we get. And we've seen other people try to do some of the stuff that we're doing, and the content is the same, but the delivery is different, and it's not quite as successful. And a lot of people do this in our industry is they try to copy people and then they give up right away when it's not as successful as the person they were copying. And what they don't see is how much work that person maybe put into it, maybe the personality they brought to it, or all these little details. They just go straight to the concept or the idea. So think about that. Be unique, be yourself. If you do something and you put your own personality with it, people can copy you all day long, but they can't copy your personality and what you as an individual bring to the table. So embrace that inner self, and be yourself and be comfortable with being a little bit weird, because that's what will make you stand out. And that's what we want. We want our business to stand out from everybody else. So we have to be different. Now, so this tonight's webinar is basically talking over the structure of your business. What I see way too often in the dog industry is a lack of a business sense. So a lot of people get into the dog world, and it's like, I have a doggy daycare, I need to get dogs, or dog training, I need to get people for dog training, dog training, dog training, dog training. And there's no business sense, there's no marketing sense. What we're going to get into in the next 3 webinars is just that. Exactly, step by step, how to post an ad, what's worked for me, what hasn't worked for me. There's stuff is constantly changing, so we'll get into some new Facebook stuff. I want you guys to start shooting some video. So shoot some anything. It doesn't have to be about your business. It can be about what you did today. Just try to shoot a video and try to talk naturally through the whole thing, no pausing. And remember that you need to have a strong open and you need to have a strong finish. So the finish is the call to action. So strong open of introducing yourself or whatever you want. It'll be, so when I do traveling dog videos, I'm usually like, hey, it's Bernie from the Traveling Dog. I'm just, and that's how I open it typically. So that just grabs people's attention. There's a little bit of energy there. And then I get into maybe what I'm going to talk about in the video. And then the bulk of the video is content. So giving them what I want to talk about. And then I get to a call to action, what I want them to do. So if I'm promoting a class, then I'll be like, and send me an email if you want to join this class, and I look forward to seeing you. Or maybe it's, thanks for checking out this video, and I'll see you on the next one. If you're not promoting anything, or check out my website, blah blah, and it pops up. There needs to be a call to action. People need to be told what you want them to do. And there's bigger structure videos. If they're going to be longer than 2-3 minutes, you have to structure them. Some of these shorter videos, and when you get better at it, you can just turn on the camera and just talk. But it's better if you can write it out a little bit, not read it, but write out what you want to say and rehearse it a little bit, and then shoot it a few times while you're comfortable. Just until you can come up with stuff on the spot. It's better. So make sure that you are portraying in your video what you want. So the energy. And I'm going to, actually, no, I'm not going to get into that tonight. So that is all I am going to discuss tonight. This is recorded, so I will be putting this up in the Facebook group. I am also creating a website that all of this content will be on. And if you're watching the recording right now, you might be on that page. And there are also step-by-step tutorials going through some of the Facebook stuff that we are going to be going through. So for now, go through this basic foundation stuff. This stuff applies to any business. It doesn't have to be dog stuff. And actually, just for while you're driving down the street over the next week, while you're watching TV, while you're sitting where you are right now, look around. There will be an advertisement somewhere. There will be a logo. There will be something. And everything you look at, every billboard that catches your eye as you're driving, I want you to pay attention to what caught your eye and write it down. Write down, maybe it was a color, maybe it was a saying. Write it down. Any email that you get, we always get junk mail, right? We get tons of emails all the time. It might not be junk mail, but we just get tons of emails. And I want you to write down, keep a list on your in Word or Excel, and copy and paste every subject line in the email that catches your eye and makes you open it. Because emailing your list is very important, but a lot of people don't open emails anymore. So it's whatever catches your eye is what's going to catch your audience's eye, because you are your own target market. That's who you're talking to, typically. Now that can range a little bit, but so really take focus and pay attention to what stands out to you, and then look at your business and say, does this actually look like I want it to? So that is it for tonight. Have an awesome night, and I will post when the next webinar will be in the group. And I will see you later. Bye.